This is the Ohio AgNet from the Voice You Know at the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Certain Corn Herbicide. Unleash residual power early to allow for pre or post application to attack weeds at their weakest. I'm Ty Higgins in Columbus at Ag Day at the Capitol with Ohio Farm Bureau, visiting with the organization's president, Bill Patterson. Good to see you.
Thanks, Ty. So glad to be here today with you.
One of the biggest days of the year for your organization as you bring hundreds of members downtown to talk directly with lawmakers. I know there's a lot of policy to be talked about, but in your mind, if you were to pick one, that priority issue for today that members visit with lawmakers about, what would it be?
Well, taxes. And we could break down taxes into several different things that hit us in the way of taxes, whether it's property taxes, whether it's talking CAUV. That's just in the top of our mind, and that's one of the areas that I think there's the most uncertainty for our members. You know, I feel like one of our most overused phrases is tell your story. Tell your story, tell your story. But we're going to keep using it because you got to tell your story. You think about the policy win last year, the biggest policy, well, not the biggest policy, one of our largest policy wins we had last year was getting them placed the Farm Bureau health plans. Why? Because we came down here last year, 1 year ago, we told our story. We talked about our neighbors and our friends and ourselves, the challenges that we faced because we did not have, effective, affordable, and available health plans. We told the story, and we had nearly unanimous support in the legislature as a result of it. It's what the members want to hear. The members don't need to understand the mechanics of a bill. They don't need us to come down there and tell them exactly what a bill does. They have to know how that bill affects them. They need to put a face to the problem, and they'll solve it with us.
Some people are here for the first time.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you first came to Columbus? You've been in Washington and Columbus talking with lawmakers. This is kind of old hat to you, but do you remember how nervous you might have been that first time you stepped into an office?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad you sort of bring that up because a little bit of my talk, I'm going to give some comments here in a couple of minutes, and a little bit of my talk is sort of saying, what does that new person need to know to feel comfortable? Because looking back and thinking about those nerves and thinking about where do I go, what do I do, all I need to do is tell my story. Just talk about what's going on with me, what's going on with my farm, what's going on in my community, and it becomes real easy, real fast.
We always ask lawmakers, as farmers, to come to the farm, see what we do, talk about how certain policies impact us directly. Lawmakers, though, kind of like it when we're on their turf and come to Columbus. What kind of feedback do you get from them?
It is absolutely. Another of the comments that I'm going to make here in a little bit is that you may be far more productive at the lunch table today than in the office. So you build out that rapport, you build out that credibility, and then you sit at the lunch table where you can really talk about what's going on. And I think that that's what's so important. So to have them here, to be in their office, for them to show what they're doing, for us to recognize the value of why they're here by being present with them, that makes those conversations back at home so much easier.
Bill Patterson, president of Ohio Farm Bureau, here for Ag Day at the Capitol in Columbus. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Ty.
Let's get a check of the forecast, brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. Here's Ryan Martin.
In this very warm surge, we've got a warm front that's to our north, and that's allowing some scattered rain showers over Ohio. The best chances here this afternoon, yet still north of I-70, but I'm not going to rule out action anywhere. We clear out overnight tonight. We start tomorrow with sunshine and very mild, but rain comes back midday and afternoon, and then overspreads the state tomorrow night into early Friday. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Ryan. If you're looking for the latest in Ohio agriculture, get it all in one place with the Ohio AgNet podcast. We sit down with farmers, experts, ag leaders from across the Buckeye State, get the latest news, interviews that matter. We're here to keep you informed and connected. Whether you're in the tractor, the truck, or the shop, we bring the conversation right to you. Search Ohio AgNet podcast on your favorite app or find it on Facebook and YouTube. Don't miss a minute of the Ohio AgNet podcast and subscribe today. We'll check the markets and analysis next as the Ohio AgNet continues.
Ohio farmers are excited about the approval of Striax dicamba herbicide for in-crop soybean use. For a limited time, B&B AgVantages in Conover, Ohio, are reopening cash discounts and financing on Asgrow soybeans. This is a fantastic opportunity to return to the proven yield performance of Asgrow soybeans and the strong weed control system of the XtendFlex system. Orders must be placed and paid for by March 13th. Contact B&B AgVantages for details at 937-368-3880.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins. Today's market analysis brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113. Argentina is receiving widespread showers this week, ranging from central growing regions to the northern border. That should offer relief for corn crops there, although it's likely some damage was done through the January dry spell. From a soybean demand standpoint, the crush industry remains well on the way to another yearly record for the 5th season in a row. Box beef prices continue to struggle to trend higher. Consumers may be near a threshold of prices they are willing to pay for beef, and hog futures seem to have completed the liquidation phase, increasing the interest of traders to buy into the market on the potential for a price retracement. Midday Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. March corn down a quarter penny at $4.26 a bushel. Soybeans for March $11.36.5, picking up 2.5 cents. And July wheat 7.75 to the good at $5.59 a bushel. Live cattle for February at midday down 27 points at $246.27. April $242.65 down 16. Feeder cattle for April, $367.75 down 7 cents. Lean hogs for April, $92.47 up 17. May lean hogs up 57 points, trading at $96.90. This is the Ohio AgNet.